Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to the Ka-Pow Comics Best of 2025 countdown. I forgot what number on. I want to say 8. This is a problem of just coming into work in the morning and cracking straight on with it. It is Mine is a Long and Lonesome Grave. It is a book which, from the very first moment I read it, I was in love with it. I think the only reason it didn't have slightly higher in the list is I kind of wanted more from it. I wanted it to be a little bit longer, maybe spend a little bit more time on some of the detailed points that I really loved. But as is often the case, I have to understand that just because I want something or doesn't do exactly what I want doesn't mean it's bad. Intentionality matters, and in this particular case, I've got to say the creators nailed every single thing they set out to do. Just because it's not perfect doesn't mean it's not amazing. And what does it do? Well, for a start, it looks amazing. The artistry is beautiful and subdued and dark and harrowing. It is full of the interplay of darkness with very little light. The action sequences are rushed. It feels like every single beat is fully realized, and the artistry seems to pick the absolute most brutal moment to show you. It's designed to unsettle you. Sometimes, even in quite normal sequences, there is moments where we're seeing it from a point of view which is unsettling. Every single individual character is beautifully realized. The world, the backdrops. I mean, I was talking about the voice I killed fairly recently. This is a book that does the same kind of thing. The depth of the colors, or the paleness of the flat lighting when it needs to be, the sun coming through a yellow sky. All this kind of stuff just adds to this deeply unsettling aura. And in terms of the story, I fell in love with issue 1 simply because it really pushed right up to the line of, do these people have access to magic and curses? Or do they think they do and are taking us on for a ride? Is this purely a case of unreliable narrator, people who absolutely believe that doing terrible, inhuman things has an effect in the world other than just to create terror and a feeling of inhumanity? And I love the fact that by the end of issue 1, I had no idea. It could have gone either way, and I think I would genuinely have been happy no matter which way it went. I quite enjoy those stories where you can spend the entire thing never being quite sure. I mean, Thistlebone is probably a modern classic because of how well it toes that line of there could genuinely be gods in the wood, or people are just high and weird. This one, it kind of settles it within the first couple of issues. We do get a sense that there is absolutely more than meets the eye, but it's a kind of magic that can easily run concurrently to a real world. It's done in ways where the outward effects of it could easily be explained to be something else. I mean, there's a rather wonderful moment where, to basically make sure nothing can happen even after somebody has died, something terrible is done to the corpses. And I just couldn't help but think that if this was seen in the real world, it would be down to, man, this is a messed up serial killer. This isn't somebody trying to nail a spirit to a physical vessel, because it's just the kind of messed up thing that humans would do because they are just messed up. That on its own was enough to grab me. That core concept of magic in a real world. But then we get into the almost revenge kind of story, which is, don't get me wrong, a little bit Route 1. I've read a few revenge fantasy stories this year. I'm currently enjoying some other stuff in other media. But in this particular case, it does the very, very nice thing of twisting our expectations of who was the wronged party and who was doing what to get revenge against whom. It's basically an absolute mess until we get to the end. And I want to say mess, I don't mean that like you're not able to follow it, or the story is unnecessarily convoluted. It basically means the people in the story are messy. They don't know entirely what's going on. They're making bad decisions based on bad information. And this is just piling error on top of error and making more darkness and more evil. It reminds me of, to a certain degree, a Coen Brothers kind of thing. In terms of how messed up people's expectations of their own stories are. I genuinely love that kind of thing. To see it in something where there's not even like a hint of dark humor. This is pure horror. This is people doing terrible things to each other. But to have that mix of almost farce to it, but never allowing you to find it funny, I thought that was a genius moment in storytelling. And honestly, when it did come to an end, I was like, well, okay, that was satisfying. But like I say, I think an extra couple of issues, I would have loved more. I'd have liked to have fallen deeper into that hole to, I think, maybe see how the rest of the world responds to this kind of thing. But just because I want more and it's not given, again, is not a reason to look down on it. The fact that I want more and it's not given, if anything, is to say that how good it is, that even though it delivers an amazing book, I still absolutely wanted more. That's it for me for now, though. Till I see you all again. Look after each other, everyone. Stay safe.